Mr. Coates. We're here to ask you 50 questions.
Hello. All right. Shoot.
So, coffee or tea?
Coffee, 100%, always.
Craziest thing that happened in your classroom?
Oh God. I had to stop an almost fight. Didn't happen, but it almost happened.
If you could choose anywhere in the world to be right now, where would it be?
I would like to be at some Italian cafe, eating delicious food and drinking espresso.
What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done?
Oh, that's a good question. Once I climbed a mountain and got stuck hiding from a rock fall.
Who is your favorite musician of all time?
My favorite musician of all time is, I'm a big fan of 80s punk, so The Clash is my favorite band.
What is a book you'd recommend to high schools?
For like every student should read?
Yes.
Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut Jr.
What is a book you remember loving in college?
Oh, not many. I'm a huge political science nerd. That's my major in college, so I read a book called It's Even Worse Than It Looks, about partisan gridlock. Fascinating read.
What made you want to become a teacher?
In undergrad, I was a TA for a political science class, and so I led a section, which is kind of like teaching other undergrads, and I loved it.
What was the best thing about quarantine last year?
The best thing about quarantine last year? I mean, this is going to be a cliche answer because it's everybody's answer, but like not having to dress to impress ever. Yeah.
Do you have any hidden talents?
I can like bend my pinky back really far.
Do it.
You want me to do it? Look at this. Check this out. Isn't that cool? Oh, look how far back that thing goes.
Gosh.
If that's not a talent, I don't know what is.
What's your favorite thing currently in your classroom?
My favorite thing, like my favorite object in my classroom, the lack of students.
What do you like best about leading Knowledge Bowl?
Oh, I get really competitive, get really into it. I love the look of defeat on other teams' faces when we beat them. Yeah.
How many bones have you broken?
I've broken my elbow, my wrist, my collarbone, my shin, and my finger. I also dislocated my shoulder. Does that count?
Sure.
Okay.
What's the greatest lesson a teacher has taught you?
My greatest lesson a teacher has taught me, like when I was a student, was to not take yourself too seriously, and that comes from Richard Underhill.
What's the greatest lesson students have taught you?
Greatest lessons a student have taught me, always be prepared.
What is the best lesson you wish to teach to your students?
The best lesson I wish to teach, like life lesson or like actual lesson?
Life.
Life lesson. I wish after they took my class, they would come away with more confidence.
How do you want your students to remember you?
I want my students to remember me as someone who really tried. That's all we can do is try.
What is something that has surprised you recently?
Something that surprised me recently are the sheer amount of people who still don't wear their masks. It's shocking, really.
Go to fast food place.
In and out, always.
Favorite thing about teaching at Buena?
I love my department, great English department. We're awesome.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Stop time.
What's
You ever see the movie Click? Mm-mm. Adam Sandler movie, he gets a stop time.
Really?
And rewind it and fast forward it. So I could like fast forward it through like boring stuff. Yeah.
What's something on your bucket list?
I want to travel more. I have summer breaks, so let's use them, right?
Do you have any pets?
Sadly, no. My little chihuahua passed away. Yeah. He was 15 and he was very sweet.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
If you weren't a teacher, what would you be doing?
If I was not a teacher, like what would I want to do, or like what would I be doing had I never become a teacher?
What would you want to do?
I would love, okay, it's not realistic at all. I have no qualifications for this job whatsoever, but I always thought like being a traveling food critic would be the most amazing job ever. Never gonna happen. Like I said, no qualifications, but how great does that sound?
Something you can't do but wish you could.
Something I can't do but wish I could. Oof. I am not a good dancer. I'm a terrible dancer, but I see people who dance and I am jealous.
What is a habit you want to break?
Habit I would like to break is just like, do you ever just like come home at the end of the day and just sit in your phone and do nothing? Less of that needs to stop.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
People who walk slowly in front of me, or people who don't use their turn signals when driving. Those people are scum of the earth.
Agreed.
What have you learned about the world through the COVID-19 pandemic?
That people are really stupid. Is that not okay for journalism?
No, that's good.
I have been shocked at people's stupidity through this pandemic. Yeah.
Can you tell us something embarrassing that happened to you in high school?
In high school, where to start? Something embarrassing that happened to me in high school. Oh, okay. I was a sophomore, and I think sophomore year is like the stupidest year, the most embarrassing year, right? I mean, like the year freshman, whatever. Sophomore, like you expect better. In the student parking lot, I went to Buena, and I jumped on the back of my friend's car when he was in the parking lot, and I fell off in front of a lot of people, and it hurt very badly.
What's the best book you have read?
Slaughterhouse-Five, Kurt Vonnegut Jr. I know I've said that before, but great book.
What do you look forward to the most when you start out a new school year?
I love the start of the new school year because it's like an opportunity to start anew, right? New beginnings. The opportunity to make a good first impression and to meet my students.
Do you have a comfort movie?
A comfort movie, The Big Lebowski is my comfort movie.
If you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
This is a basic answer. It's pizza. I mean, pizza is... I have seen God eating pizza, okay? It's like, yeah, pizza.
What is a random fact that you know?
Oh, I have a good one. A random fact that I know. Okay, so you know Stegosaurus, the dinosaur? You know the spiny things they have in their back? Like those aren't for protection. Those are for, they're like solar panels. So these cold-blooded lizards, right? Like they lay out in the sun and they absorb the sun through their panels, not for protection. I think dinosaur facts. Yeah.
If you could time travel, when and where would you travel to?
Do you want the cynical answer or the idealistic answer?
Let's go cynical.
Let's do cynical. I would travel to like January 2020 and like, I don't know. Okay, maybe. I would travel to January of 2020 and do some very unethical things regarding pandemic profiteering, all right? There it is. You know what? We're all thinking it. I would do it.
If you won $1 million, what would you do with it?
I would like to buy a house, please. Please. Or two. Can I buy 2 houses with $1 million? Maybe like a shed somewhere? Yeah.
What is your proudest accomplishment?
My proudest accomplishment, I guess getting through how many years? 12 years of high school, 4 years of undergrad, 17 years of school. Yeah.
Do you have a guilty pleasure?
Like guilty pleasure, like food, movie, like
Activity, whatever you want to do.
That I want to say right now. Okay, all right, here's a guilty pleasure. I love like crappy romantic comedies that I can laugh at. So Love Actually is like my favorite Christmas movie. That movie sucks, but it's like a guilty pleasure because it's so awful, yeah.
What is your favorite breakfast food?
Eggs Benedict, but I try not to eat that anymore because hollandaise sauce apparently is like a breeding ground for salmonella. So, yeah, my life is in my hands when I eat that.
Favorite dessert option?
Brownie fan, no frosting. Like thick, fudgy brownie, no frosting on the top.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I always wanted to be involved in in politics. I thought, not being a politician myself, but being like, I watched The West Wing when I was younger, right? It's an old show, you wouldn't know it, but it just seems so cool to be involved in that kind of stuff.
What is the best gift you have ever been given?
The best gift I've ever been given? My fiance gave me a custom made suit. That's really cool, yeah. Like a custom tailored suit, yeah.
What is the most important part of your morning routine?
Go back to question 1, which is coffee or tea. It's consuming an unhealthy amount of coffee. Like really, it's a problem. Yeah, it's the first thing I do. I stumble out of bed and I press yeah, it's coffee. Lots of it.
Have you learned something new this week?
This week, have I learned something new? No, I have not learned something. The week is young, so no, not yet, but maybe later.
What's your favorite thing in your class?
Like, favorite object in my class? My espresso maker. Yeah, probably that. Yeah, or these pens. I'm a big fan of the Papermate Ink Joys. The best pens.
What's your fondest high school memory?
I'm embarrassed to say. I mean, I shouldn't be embarrassed. No, never mind. I won't say that one. I went on the German exchange when I was a junior, and it was awesome. It was fantastic, right? It was life changing.
Who were your most memorable teachers?
Are any of them here anymore? Yeah, a couple of them are here. Mr. Underhill, the German teacher. I think I mentioned him earlier. Mr. Levin, the librarian, was my AP Lang teacher, and he was fantastic. Great teacher. Don't tell him I said that. I'm just kidding. Mr. Davis, who was a drama teacher. He was awesome. And then Miss Sachin was a great teacher.
Do you have any regrets in life?
Doesn't everybody? I guess so. I can't pin them down, though. But everybody's got regrets. If you're saying you don't have regrets, like there's people who say, oh, I have no regrets. They're lying to you. Everybody has regrets.
What are you looking forward to the most in 2022?
I'm getting married in June, so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
So, what's up with that Spongebob picture?
I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you're referring to the time where I ripped my pants in front of a class, and then my seniors decided to commemorate it by making that lovely picture. You know, when something embarrassing happens to you, you either gotta like hide it or laugh and embrace it. So I chose laugh and embrace it. Maybe that was a mistake.
And if you could choose any teacher to hand this off to, who would be the next teacher?
I think Mr. Gianelli would be a fantastic interview for this. No second thoughts about that. He's hilarious. So, Mr. Gianelli, you're welcome.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.